In 2018, Nas dropped Nasir. 7 tracks, Kanye on the boards, and the whole thing sounded like it was recorded during the layover. Some people swear it's underrated. Others think it's the album equivalent of a group text that you regret sending. Tonight we ask, did Nasir age into something worth revisiting? Or is it just a weird Wyoming souvenir? This is Rap in Order, Court is in session.
Welcome to another episode of Rap in Order. I'm First Class Regg.
And I am Taurian B.
How we doing today?
Doing good, man. You know, we are recording. It is the week of 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
You got any plans?
So one of my neighbors is actually going to have something he just invited me to yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to stop by that. Other than that, I don't have anything else. I think James, shout out to Jamesy. I think he's DJing somewhere, so I might pop out to that with Danny. But yeah, I think I'm pretty open this weekend.
Okay.
Side note, I think this is the longest I've seen your beard.
No, it's not true.
In a while, I was about to say in a minute.
Yeah,
in
a minute, yeah.
So you're growing it out.
For now, for now, yeah. For now,
Mm-hmm.
we'll, I don't know. Yeah. We'll see. I just haven't shaved it off. But for us, we are going down to me, Sarah, and Maverick are driving down to Charleston, South Carolina,
mm-hmm.
with my family. My family's from Charleston, so and actually the town is called Mount Pleasant because we're right by like the beaches and the ocean and stuff like that. So it'll be Mav's first 4th of July. It'll be his first beach visit. So it's pretty cool. Take him down there. We're gonna have a fish fry. No, a fish fry and a crab boil.
Okay.
So we're gonna have a time. I gotta pick up my brother Gavin Jr. on the way down there. So it's gonna be pretty good. Probably gonna make him drive most of the way, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, why not, right?
Yeah, man. He's in his 20s. He says he's a badass. Says he doesn't sleep. All right, let's put it to the test.
There you go. Yeah, why not? Take a load off of yourself.
All right.
Yeah. What else is going on? I think so. Yeah, this weekend that's pretty much all I'm doing.
Yeah, that's it too. I'm debating if I'm going to see, because my mother will be there as well. That means I have a babysitter. So me and Sarah going to take advantage of that and kind of like go on dates.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm debating if we're going to see Jurassic Park or we're going to see F1. Excuse me.
I really want to see F1. Jurassic Park. I mean, that looks good, but I don't know. For some reason, it's not pulling me in. F1, I feel like I got to see that in IMAX. Like, it looks like.
I think so. I think that's pretty important. So, yeah,
it's going to be a good time.
We're going to do that. And, like, around the city of Charleston is pretty much like a college town.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're probably going to, like, go, like, to eat out a lot.
Nice.
And stuff like that.
Yeah, and the reviews have been great. And Charleston, what are they generally known for, like, food-wise? Do they have like a maybe I'm gonna Google it, but I'll tell you what I always identify with Charleston since I spent summers down there. Shrimp and grits, scuffing iron grapes, peanuts, boiled peanuts. I don't know why, and like I could be wrong. Maybe this is just my country as grandmother, all the stuff that like she has me eat while I'm down there. And obviously shrimp and crab. Okay,
because like the Gullah. The island is like right off the coast of South Carolina.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
But now I'm curious, so now I'm actually going to Google that.
Here's an answer from usatoday.com.
Oh, well, I'm so sorry. No, I don't want to ask you, Siri. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. Because I haven't traveled that many places in the South.
Oh man, yeah, bro. Let's see. They're known for delicious foods including barbecue, shrimp and grits. See, I was right. Frogmore stew. No, I don't know what that is.
Or low country boil.
Or low country boil. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah. Shrimp. I knew. Okay, look, I had it right. Shrimp and grits, boiled peanuts, Hoppin' John. I've never had Hoppin' John before in my life. Barbecue sauce, the oysters. You know what? I've never had oysters in South Carolina. I'm pretty sure Sarah's going to make sure that we do that.
To get down with that.
Because usually when I go down there, we have crabs and shrimp the whole time. So I don't even think about getting oysters.
Okay.
But that's okay.
Collard greens. Okay.
It's just shrimp and grits in South Carolina though is like a thing. It's literally like getting beef and broccoli out here in New York.
Best shrimp and grits I had in a while, funny enough, was from what's this place? Nas's place, Sweet Chick.
Oh, Sweet Chick?
Yeah, Sweet Chick.
Sweet Chick. Okay, so let me not. Sweet Chick has great shrimp and grits. I promise you, in South Carolina, there's a regular mom and pop shop that has better.
Well, yeah, for sure,
that you will enjoy so much.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that's just like going like to New Orleans and like getting something like their rice and beans. Rice and beans is such a simple cuisine, but in New Orleans, rice and beans is fucking magical.
Like yeah, something like yeah.
But okay, moving on from that, since last time we recorded, the Oklahoma City Thunder have won the NBA championship.
Yep.
Right. There's been like a lot of shakeups. The Indiana Pacers played really hard. Tyrese Halliburton, I think, earned a lot of people's respect.
Light skin tie.
Yeah, I think he earned a lot of people's respect.
I think he did too.
Right now in free agency, the NBA is kind of going crazy. So like, let's see, during the off season, like what has happened? DeAndre Ayton has been released from the Trailblazers, like bought out. So now everybody's assuming the Lakers are going to get him. I hope that happens, right? Then also, let's see, we got, what's this guy's name? Free agency buzz, playoff analysis. I'm trying to remember like the story. Like there's actually like a story that came up, and I'm like drawing a blank right now. Latest move. Let's go to CBS, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So Miles Turner just got traded to.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Miles Turner just got traded to the Milwaukee Bucks. And the reason why that's a big deal is because the Milwaukee Bucks waived Damian Lillard, who fought to come back from a blood clot to come and help them in the playoffs, and then tore his Achilles. So that's weird because you just wouldn't think Damian Lillard, a person of his caliber, would get waived.
Yeah, I think they building right now it's in the building a structure for the future, right? So like Lillard is going to be, what is he, 35, 36?
I think he's 30, 33, 34.
Yeah.
Like because he's not Steph Curry's age.
Okay, yeah. So
Steph Curry's 35, so that's why I originally watched.
But by that time, it's like realistically,
yeah, because he's going to be out for a year. Yeah. Like, I get it. I guess it's just that like it's like he's going to rehab and get better, but like they just like cut their losses. But there's more to it. Like me and LaShawn was talking about it. Like there's like the first and second apron that has something to do like with the salary cap and like certain players and their bird rights, and after that rookie contract is all is like logistics now. So like NBA owners are like pretty much like moving their money around like puzzles, trying to like make sure that they don't get taxed for overpaying somebody. Kevin Durant got traded to Houston.
Yeah.
So that's like a big deal.
Everybody thought he was going to go to the Spurs at first.
Yeah, right.
I thought he was going to.
I did. That would have been a good look.
Yeah.
And Jalen Green and Dre are like in the wind right now.
Because at first they did one announcement for them, and then they came back like 20 minutes later and was like, yeah, right. Actually.
Right. James Harden is going to stay. Kyrie is going to stay. Julius Randle is going to stay. There's a few people that are staying right now that aren't leaving their teams, but it's just like it is kind of interesting to see like the shakeup that's happening in the NBA. And I was just like,
let's talk about what's happening with LeBron right now.
Okay.
52 million, right? That's for the year.
1 year.
Yeah. So do you think this is it?
His last season?
Yeah.
I want it to be.
Yeah.
I want it to be because it's like he's no matter what team he goes to, he's holding up everything that they're doing, and like he's been in the NBA so long, there's nothing that like a team can like really tell him that he can't have. So it kind of like hinders the team and like hinders things going around. If he goes like, so let's say if he leaves the Lakers, does that mean Bronny has to go with him?
No, I don't think so. I think Bronny is there for like, that's a future play. I think he just wanted the benefit of playing with Bronny now. But
I'm telling you, I'm talking about if LeBron gets traded. He gets traded, his son's going wherever he go. He ain't just going to leave that team and let his son be on the Lakers.
That's tough, man.
Because me personally, I'm cutting that nigga the minute I trade.
Well, yeah, okay. So I see it a certain way with that, only because like if he leaves, then yeah, that essentially
there's no reason
he'll be leaving.
The only reason he's on that team is to appease LeBron James.
Yeah.
Right. So with the problem with LeBron is that like most teams that are contenders, unless like, you know, like they're like hiding their hand, don't feel like it's worth banking a season on him. And he's kind of become, you know, he's an Iron Man, but not anymore. He's older. His body's breaking down. So he's going to get hurt one time in the season. Like everybody knows that. Like he gets hurt usually around like Christmas, after Christmas, you know, gets extended time after the All-Star break or whatever like that. Then he comes back for us to get ready for the playoffs.
Yeah.
I just think that a lot of teams aren't willing to like do that. Like unless it was like something where the perfect scenario will be the Lakers buy LeBron James out, and then LeBron James is a free agent, just go sign anywhere.
Yeah,
but
I don't think. Yeah. I think LeBron is so set on just being in LA because his next play is
if you know what's good for him, he better
diving directly into Hollywood.
Yeah, he wants to start acting. Yeah. Like he already produces films and stuff like that, and TV shows. So again, I don't see another team even wanting him unless it's Cleveland. Cleveland's the only team that makes sense because of the story.
Yeah.
And it would just be good for him to, you know, the hometown boy to come home. But another team taking LeBron, like, unless like, it's like I really think it would have to be for sure that they're going to the finals. Like let's say it take a team like the Knicks. The Knicks already make money. The Knicks can win one game a season and they're going to be a top team as far as like revenue. If they don't even want LeBron saying like, hey, like if you guys can make it happen, I'll remove the no trade clause.
Yeah.
So I just think for LeBron, like he's just trying to see what the Lakers are going to do. So I think I think that for LeBron, like he's trying to see, all right, cool, I'll pick up this player option. If y'all make some moves to get some players, then I'll move the money around. But if y'all not gonna move the money around, I'm getting my money.
Yeah. Regardless.
Yeah. So that's why I think like he's playing it at. Like he's basically like calling their bluff a little bit to see like what's going on with that. Let's see. So you know what? I'm gonna keep the mood up. What are you more excited for? Are you more excited for the Fantastic Four, or are you more excited for Superman?
Superman.
Yeah.
I am, because I have a really, really good feeling about it. I think Fantastic Four is going to be great, but Superman needs this redemption. Like it hasn't been done right in a long time.
You didn't like the Henry Cavill Superman?
I don't think he got the chance to be great.
Okay.
Like Man of Steel was good, but that was back in like, what year was that?
It had to be like
2012,
2013.
Yeah, like it's just been so long, and I feel like it kind of ruined the depiction of Superman, and people feel like that's like the palette of like what he's like, what Superman's supposed to be, and it's not. Like it was too dark. It wasn't Clark. It just, like the way he played it was so different, and a lot of that has to do with Snyder and his vision.
Mm-hmm.
And I think James Gunn is pumping a lot of good energy into the Superman movie.
Right. I trust James Gunn, especially after seeing what he did with Suicide Squad, a Peacemaker. Like he's huge on source material. He's huge on Easter eggs from the comic books. Like and you know he reads comic books because he'll pull up characters and you be like, yo, that dude.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that movie.
Okay.
Fantastic Four is going to be they're both redemption stories because Fantastic Four hasn't been done right. Like on big screen, arguably. Like I enjoyed the one with Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
I like the Rise of Silver Surfer, and I like the first one too.
Mm-hmm. The Michael B. Jordan one is the one that you're not a fan of.
Yeah, that one wasn't very good. But I like those first two, but when a lot of people say they don't like it, I understand why they don't like it.
Yeah, I can too. I just liked it because we were getting something. So like I didn't know any better at that time. I didn't know it could be better.
Mm-hmm.
So I really enjoyed it when it came out. But now that I know better, I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
So, you know, we'll see. I'm excited. I'm excited for both films. I'm more excited for the Fantastic Four just because like the Fantastic Four was kind of my favorite comic book to read growing up. I just like the dynamic of a family, like exploring outer space and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. We'll see. We already talked about F1, so we're gonna revisit that one. Real quick, you think Puff is going to? I think Puff is going to get time, but do you think they're going to throw the book at him, or are you going to get a slap on the wrist?
I think he'll get like 4 to 5 years.
Okay,
so that's a slap on the wrist.
I think he's going to get a slap on the wrist as well. I think he's going to get 4 to 5 years, and then he's going to get time served and probably do about maybe 2.5 to 3 years.
Yeah,
come home and then just have to like just live his life. I think people are still gonna fuck with him, but like on a very
Not
like
publicly.
you'd be surprised.
Hmm.
The reason why I say that is because how many people I see that still like talk to Russell Simmons and stuff like that. Like it's not publicly.
Yeah.
It's not super duper publicly, but you hear about it, or like you'll see like, oh snap, there was this huge event and hip hop was being honored, or this was being honored, and Russell Simmons was there, and like you see people talking to him.
But that's different though, because Russell Simmons wasn't convicted of anything.
He wasn't convicted, but
yeah, it's just like it's known things, you know. But this is like fully publicized. We have like 8 to 9 weeks in court.
Yeah.
You know, we have video documentation. We have all this evidence. So I don't think somebody is going to risk their public image and stand next to Puff right now.
I'll say this much. I'll say that a lot of people won't have a problem telling Diddy to fuck off.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I think people will still fuck with Diddy, but I think that intimidation and that power that he used to hold over people, I think now doesn't exist. Like even like did you watch Nori's Breakfast Club interview?
I watched most of it.
Did you see the clip where he explained when Diddy was asking Fab and Jadakiss to come party with him?
Mm-hmm.
So with him explaining that, like it's not shooting Puff any bail, but I understand it. Like, he was, and this is insane to me because Fabulous is not a punk, like the furthest from a punk. But the fact that he was bullying Fabulous right there, because he's like, yo, like I gave you a flavor. Why are you drinking something else besides Ciroc? And that's not the first time that I heard that Puff has done something like that, where he got into it with one of Jay's people because, Emery had just came home and Emery had ordered a different vodka. I forgot the name of the vodka. And Puff showed up and was like, yo, why y'all not drinking Ciroc? And like they were drinking like Armadale, not Armadale, I can't think of the name. Belvedere.
Okay.
Right. And they said like they had to get it straightened out with Puff because like a Rockefeller guy, like, you know, like and Puff got into it. So I don't think stuff like that works anymore. Like Puff can't go around being like, yo, that
like, why
song,
you not drinking
why you not drinking Del Leon? Why you not doing that? Like it won't matter to people no more. So I think that's gonna be like a thing.
Yeah. He ain't got, well, I'm pretty sure he still got shooters. He still got people. He still has loyalists, but it's very much in the
it's very small now. Like I just think that he doesn't have the influence or the power anymore like that. Or like remember when it was announced that Dr. Dre was a billionaire? Do you remember that documentary?
Which documentary?
It was a documentary with Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre.
Yeah, on HBO.
Right.
Yeah.
So remember what Jimmy Iovine basically said that Puff was calling him like, yo, what's going on? Like, why aren't you telling me? I thought you were my friend. Like, in my head, I was like, Jimmy Iovine ain't your fucking friend. Like, you know, like what the, like he basically felt offended that Jimmy Iovine didn't tell him something that no one was supposed to know.
Yeah.
Like the entitlement.
We publicly only knew because of Tyrese.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Right. But it's just crazy to me. Like, if you really think about it, like Puff has like a lot of like entitlement and audacity on a lot of things. And I just think now, I think that will be his biggest punishment.
Yeah.
That he cannot,
that
he can't throw his weight around anymore. He can't intimidate people to do things that he wants anymore. Like a lot of people are going to tell him to fuck off, call him a freaky ass boy. Like I think that is going to be his biggest punishment, because basically he's going to be treated like how like the guy Gene Deal that does an interview about him every week basically says like Puff's going to be treated like a geek. Like a freaky geek.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah, fuck out of here. Come on your nipples, boy. Yeah.
It's so crazy how, like, you know, the charges aren't the same, but it's like the similarities between him and Suge Knight now are so similar, because it's like Suge Knight was like this guy that everybody was scared of.
Right.
And then it turned into, yo, fuck out of here. Like nobody cared.
Yeah,
fuck just Suge Knight.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Like once he got knocked out, I'll never forget that image of Suge Knight being knocked out. I was like you would have, it was the equivalent of saying like Superman can't fly no more. Like what?
That's like when I saw What Happened to Beans.
Beanie Siegel, yeah.
It's the same thing.
Bro, and ever since then, I don't think Beanie Siegel has felt like Beanie Siegel since then.
I remember he was getting pulled on the ground, and I'm like, yo, that's Beans? Like, what the fuck?
Like,
granted, he was older, so it's not like 90s.
Bro, that just blew my mind, because like Beans definitely like ruled with like an iron fist over everything. So yeah, like that fucked me up. But let's keep it moving. The Clips has a new album coming out that everybody is like really excited for. And I am a little frustrated that like when they started the rollout, because I feel like the anticipation is not gonna hit at the same time. I don't think they should have put out the track listing. I don't think they should have told us who was on the album. I think they could have waited. I think that they put out too many interviews.
I think I really like this traditional rollout.
So I really like a traditional rollout, but I understand that the times that we live in now, certain things like kind of like need to be sped up a little bit. So my thing is like when they started everything, the album should be coming out, if not this Friday. Well, yeah, it should be coming out this Friday and not next Friday. It should be coming out next Friday. It should be coming out. Why not put it out July 4th weekend?
I think there's a lot of distraction around July 4th weekend.
Okay.
It's a lot.
People don't go to the record store no more. Everything's in your phone.
That's true. But
Everybody's home.
I think coming off the hump of, I mean, realistically, I really want to go back to what Tyler said about albums coming out top of the week, so you can like really sit with an album.
I agree with that too.
I love that. But
they indie now. They could have did that.
Yeah, but I think the way that they're doing it is really smart because they've been building anticipation the traditional way. Like they've been going to radio to go play a new song. And then So Be It is not even on streaming. Right? It's only on YouTube, and the YouTube video has 7 million views right now on YouTube. That's like the biggest amount of views for them as a group. Period.
I think so. Yeah.
Right?
You're right.
So then,
it has to be actually because like they weren't making music during the streaming.
Right. So it's the only place that you can go and go listen to that song. Is watch the video, and then they're doing traditional like interviews. So they got the New York Times. I just saw an interview with Spotify that just went up today, 30-minute interview. I haven't watched it yet, but the way that they're doing it is making is long form conversations. They're doing interviews with GQ. Shout out to Frazier, like he's been fucking killing it with his interviews.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think what's been working for them is like building that anticipation, and then also having, if you look at the track list, they have a So Be It Part 2 on there.
Right.
But Part 1 ain't on the album. Because Part 1 is doing what it's doing right now online.
Right. Which
Part
is
2,
which I like.
yeah. And it's like, there's speculation like, yo, maybe there's a hidden verse on there from Hove. A lot of people been saying that.
Yeah, I don't think so though. I think for them the Nas verse was important this time around. I think I could be wrong, but like I don't, me personally, and I'm a Jay-Z stan, a Jay-Z and a Nas verse on the same level to me personally. But so if I'm them like making the Jay-Z verse a secret versus the Nas, I wouldn't do that. But
so making a Jay-Z verse a secret now is a bigger anticipation thing than the Nas one, only because Nas has been more active over the past couple of years, and Jay-Z has a lot to talk about with all of this Puff shit. Like people want to hear from Hov.
I guess I guess I would just like for them to always, like, at my age now, I always want Jay-Z and Nas to be put on the same level. I just personally. So it's like when I don't see them put on the same level, I kind of look at it funny, like, hold on. Like, we're not going to do that, but I understand what you're saying. Yeah. Optically, it looks that way. All in all, I'm excited for this project. I already bought the vinyl, so when it gets here, it'll be on the wall. But that's exciting. Your girl, Cardi B.
Yeah, now she my girl now.
She announced her. Yeah. I mean, you have patiently been waiting for this project that's coming out in September.
It's been you. You said you was patiently waiting.
No.
You was like, cause she on the clock.
Yeah. I've been saying that she's on the motherfucking clock. That she needs to drop this project. Like, she needs to deliver. You were like, yo, take your time, Cardi. It don't matter if it was 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. Yeah. It's 7 years, Reg.
Yeah, it's been 7 years. So, Am I the Drama is the name of the album.
Yeah, yes, the fuck you are, Cardi.
Yeah. Am I the Drama? I don't care for the name.
I don't care for the name. I don't care for the cover.
Yeah, I don't care
for her new man.
No.
Stefan?
Yeah, Stefan. I think it's fun. I don't think they're taking each other that serious. I think they're just having fun. And I think she needs that right now. She's coming off of divorce, just had 3 kids. She outside.
Yeah, I mean, she said it. She said she outside with a man.
Outside.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, like,
it's kind of crazy. What do you think of WAP and Up being on the album?
it tells me a lot. It tells me that a project was supposed to come out around the time that those singles came out, and they did. So that means that like she's had a lot of music created, and I know that they went through a management change because all the people that signed her that were at Atlantic have left now. But it definitely tells me that like she's been working on an album for a long time. It's just that every time, you know, something comes up and like she just gets that grace, I guess, because she's made them so much money.
Mm-hmm.
But
It could be that, but then also I think it's just all in strategy of like driving up the numbers because those are two big songs and it's going to drive up the numbers for this album.
Absolutely. I mean, they should be on the album. So I'm not going to take that. WAP absolutely should be on the album. I just think that it just tells me a lot.
Bongo not on there.
Yeah, that song suck. It just but it also tells me kind of that this album's direction is not going to be as enjoyable. I remember I was a prisoner of the moment, and I said that Invasion of Privacy could be considered a classic down the line. I went and revisited Invasion of Privacy, and I don't feel that way, and I feel very silly when making that statement. Because when you get somebody like a Doja Cat or a Doechii who like are like very like talented and like artistic and like put a lot of thought into their project, and when you have somebody like Cardi who has a talent and can make good music, you kind of get blind. You kind of like see like, okay, I see this and I see that. Cardi, I enjoy. She's kind of like, you know, Cardi's checkers. I love checkers. I love to fry some checkers. They're good or whatever like that. But then you got somebody like a Doja Cat or Doechii, and you know how much I love my Hawaiian ribeye with the loaded baked potato.
I see where you're going
from Houston. It's like,
but I think
Cardi.
I think
both. Good.
I think they're both necessary.
Of course, the necessary evils. Yeah,
you're not eating
you need your rock. You need your Rakim and Big Daddy Kane, and you need your Vanilla Ice and MC Hammer. No disrespect, Hammer.
And I think they're I think Cardi's debut is a classic. And I've said that before, but like it's like
I regret saying it.
It really depends on how you feel about women in rap today, because I think what that album is kind of a blueprint of what female rap became.
It is, but I think that a lot of those girls are actual artists, and some of them aren't. Like I'll say Lotto, for instance. Lotto was out before Cardi.
Mm-hmm.
I think Lotto saw Cardi and was like, I could do this and I can rap. I don't need nobody to write my shit. And I think Lotto was able to find that lane and like spearhead it and like really do her thing and like take it over. So yeah, like I think like they all have like their different way of approaching things. But
a lot of people didn't even know Bad Bunny before that album.
I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't either. A lot of people didn't know Bad Bunny before that album. The album had a perfect balance for her at the time. You know, you got some big artists on there that's still around today.
Mm-hmm.
Got great production. It was short. It was, you know,
straight to the point. I mean, I saw her perform at Coachella that year, pregnant, and like it was cool. It was a big deal. Like she did her thing, you know, and like she's continued to like rise and do her thing. I saw somebody say, I forgot where I saw it. Probably was Joe Budden podcast. They said that the reason why the album's dropping in September is because she's probably gonna be on the cover of Vogue.
Yeah. I think it was Melissa Ford that said something like that.
M4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see that too.
Okay. Let's see. All right. So I got two things before we get into the actual episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
The mayor election.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you know, you're Zohan guy. I'm a Zohan guy. Do you think
Zoran?
There you go, Zoran. He's Zoran guy. Do you think he has a shot against Mayor Adams?
Yes, absolutely. He's gonna cook him.
I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna cook him, and I'm gonna tell you why. Even though like people were fed up with Mayor Adams, right? I think that even most Democrats, old school Democrats, not like our generation, let me tell you this. Do you know that like I had to explain to like my mom, who hasn't lived in New York since 1999, why we don't want Cuomo.
Yeah.
And like basically I realized that like a lot of the generation before, so they will be Gen X.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Gen X, like they just say, Cuomo, we know him, we know his family, like they're
Familiarity.
They're New York royalty, like his dad was beloved.
Mm-hmm.
Versus me explaining to my mom, like, yo, like, well, you know, during the pandemic, like, yes, he was getting up in the morning and giving us the numbers, but like he let a lot of elderly people die. That could have been grandma.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, like, there's a lot of money with MTA that has been allotted to other places that we don't know. And I was like, Mom, that directly affects me because when I travel, I take the train and I have Mav with me. And like, there's things that like I noticed, like it's a small thing. I'm pretty sure there's other things, but like all elevators don't work on every train station.
Yeah.
There's not elevators at every train station.
Yeah.
Sometimes like I can carry Mav's stroller up there, but like that's only because right now Mav is only 17, 18 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm gonna do when Mav get up to 40 pounds?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully he be walking,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, like,
no. It's all valid
right,
points.
so
I think above all, though, even like above all, what my starting factor is of like not voting for Cuomo is like the sexual assault charges. You know,
okay,
like that's like the base of it. It's like, yo, like that, he's a horrible person, and you want him to lead, you know, this city again, like or you want him to be.
Just want to make clear that was a problem for me too. I was just going by all the things that I was going to vote for.
It's just yeah. So like I think what's directly like Gen Z is very much in the know of like this election, and Zoran is using social media as like the driving force.
I loved his campaign poster. Like it looked hip. It looked like something that like people from our generation helped him do.
Yeah.
And I mean, and he's our age. Like shit, he's younger than
33.
us. Yeah.
Like
that's something like that's even unheard of. I'm like, yo, when the fuck was somebody
very much in
that
tune.
age, you know?
And I had that conversation with my aunt. I was like, hey, auntie, this is who AOC is endorsing, because we have talks about like elections and stuff all the time. I was like, this is who AOC is endorsing this year. Like, how do you feel about this? Who are you endorsing? And she was like, no, this is all wrong. Like, I'm not going for him. I'm going for Cuomo. And I was like, well, why is that? And she was like, well, I feel like he can really handle Trump, and we need somebody that's going to be about like some policies in the city or whatever. And again, it's a familiarity. She doesn't really know Zoran, and she hasn't done her research in that aspect. But then I think it's also like she's a landlord. So like when you have somebody like Zoran talking about rent freeze and being for people that are renting,
that was a lesson
for her.
You know, that's a threat for her, because you basically saying every year the rent going to stay the same. Like, but my taxes go up every year. So I get what she's saying.
So that's something that she wouldn't flat out say. But after, when I was doing my own research, I'm like, yeah, this is really wild.
Right. And I'll be honest with you, like with people in that stance, I'm okay with it, because it's like, I get it. That's how they make a living. So I'm not completely like upset with it when they talk about those things. But you know, I think Zoran is going to, I said it right? Okay. I think Zoran is going to do like a lot of like great things, like, as well as I know that he has like a policy where he wants to help with childcare. For me, I need that all day, every day. I'm be putting my son.
He's talking about NTA, making it free.
Yeah, like there's things that like but I just know they're going to make it really difficult for him. And a lot of people don't like change, and they think that we don't know shit. Our generation, so they're going to make it tough for him. So even though they fucking hate Eric Adams and they think Eric Adams is like an idiot, and I joke about it. Yeah, it's a familiar headache. And the reason why I say that is because like I remember a friend of mine was talking to their dad, and basically their dad was saying like, yo, like people always come around talking about they're going to change stuff, and then somebody comes and puts it right back to how it was. So while like basically he was saying I'm accepting this. And you know, it's something that we just got to change over time. You know, but I hope everybody is, you know, paying attention to their race, their mayoral races throughout the country. It's very important.
I would say you should, even for your cities, you should this should be more on your radar. And even voting for the U.S. president. This is something that directly affects you and your community.
Something that you should really look into. I really think our generation is going to be well, let me take that back. I think my son's generation is going to be the generation that really gets it. But I think our generation, because, you know, we're their parents, are the ones that are going to instill that in them.
Yeah.
So I'm very like excited for the future. Not saying that I'm excited for the old people to die, but
the Gen Zers scare me a little, but the ones that are in tune are very in tune. So like, shout out to them. They're the fucking future. So y'all gotta build this shit, man. Get us on the right track.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, let me move things along here. What do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about the Cowboy Carter tour, or do you want to talk about Are We Due for a Jay-Z album?
Well, a little bit of both, but I also see you got Love Island on there.
On the docket.
That's been my shit. Or I mean, we could save that.
We can save that. We can save Love Island.
But okay. So as far as Hove, do I think we're getting another album? I think so. I think there's been rumblings.
Okay.
I think I would love to. I'm curious to see what Jay-Z would rap about now. I feel like he's one of those that he doesn't really force the inspiration. I feel like now he, with this past year and a half, he's been bottled up with a lot of new inspiration, and I want to hear that. Like from the Puff stuff, from being tried with Tony Busby. He's gonna have some bars for that. He's gonna have some bars just from being on tour with his wife.
The Super Bowl. Address Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Address Drake.
Yeah.
Address Nicki Minaj. Address Kanye West. Address Dame Dash. There's a lot of shit that I feel like you gotta address. Like, even address like
he stays quiet.
Yeah, how people are basically saying that Roc Nation does bad business. Address that.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of things that like he has to he don't have to address, but I think like it will be cool like if we heard him talk about it, say some slick shit.
Speaking in terms of that though, I had took this screenshot that I meant to send you actually, but I'm glad I still have it. Young Guru had put up in his story a day ago. He said, "It's insane to me how people who have no idea talk so confidently about things that they don't know. You're looking from the outside. It takes you a lot of discipline to not publicly correct y'all, but I'm not about to argue about stupid shit. You talk about my friends like you know them when you have no idea, but I see you. Just know that. The gall of you people, you got one record that matters, let alone did it for 30 years. Be careful of people with opinions that don't have a skill." Who do you think he's talking about? And for those of you that don't know, Young Guru is the
engineer,
the engineer for Rockefeller Records, or
and producer.
Yeah,
still.
And he's a
Roc
producer
Nation
still. Roc Nation. He still got close ties to Hove.
Yeah.
The song that he put to accompany that story was Jay-Z. Some people hate off Blueprint too. So
I'm trying to think because right now, like I know Jim Jones has been saying that Nas is washed up, but I haven't heard anybody. Ray Daniels.
You think so?
It's definitely Ray Daniels. Because Ray Daniels has had a few things to say about Jay-Z. Like he knows Jay-Z.
Yeah.
And I could be wrong, but I just actually no. I hope Jay-Z just has something to say to Ray Daniels.
I don't know. When I read it, I kind of thought Joe Budden at first. Because he said you got one record that matters. Let alone did it for 30 years. But I was trying to think, what did Joe Budden say?
Joe hasn't said a word about Jay.
Yeah.
So that's weird. And I feel like that conversation can like do Parks, because Parks and Guru are actually really good friends. I actually think that conversation can be like that could have been mended. I could be very wrong.
That matters. I really don't know who he's talking about.
That's interesting. That's a good whodunit.
Maybe it'll come out in the next few days, but yeah.
We'll find out. All right, before I get to this, the Cowboy Carter tour, I think is done now, right? They finished up in Paris?
No, they went to Houston. They were just in Houston.
Oh, okay. They were just in Houston?
This coming weekend, they're going to be in D.C.
Okay. And Beyonce almost got killed.
Yeah, or injured, or critically injured.
Or she could have hurt her fans and been sued out of her. But I'm so glad that Beyonce is Beyonce and was able to say, stop. Get me off this damn thing.
Yeah, yo, how harmonious is it that would happen to Beyonce, and then in Houston, it was like the perfect chef kiss moment for whoever's on her team, because the car was like tilted, and then she put it up in her thing, and she accompanied it with "Sitting Sideways" by Paul Wall. How cool was that?
Very cool. Yeah. That's very cool. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to hear Act 3. Act 2 was cool. I thought it was going to be more traditional country. because that's kind of like what I listen to. But I felt that like it was a good album, but I think I gotta like live with it more and more and more and more for me to fully enjoy it. I didn't even go to the tour this year because of that reason.
Yeah, people really, really love this album. But yeah, same like you. I didn't really take to it like that.
Right.
I had a good time. Renaissance was really good.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Act 1 was really good. So I'm looking forward to Act 3 because I think this is going to be the rock album. Some people are saying that it's going to be a rap album, that she's going to be rapping the whole album.
I've heard from a credible source that is not rock, but they won't tell me what it is.
Okay. All right.
And I find it hard to believe that it's not rock. It's just crazy.
Wow. Here goes
like all signs are pointing to rock.
Hey, Ma, we're recording.
Hey, Mom.
Hi. Can you tell that me and him are related?
What happened?
Mom is Cameroonian.
Let's go. You did the test. How many percent?
I think it's like 13.
Oh yeah, we can vote. That's enough. That's enough.
I will call you back with your grandson, Mom.
Where is he?
He's in the living room right now. My friend came over to watch him for me while we record.
What friend is this?
Ivana, you met her at the hospital.
Okay.
All right.
What is he?
I don't know how we're recording. Like literally, like the mics are up. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Blueberries.
Did you like it?
He loved it. He loved them.
You let him play with it?
Yeah. Like they were already mashed up because you can't have them whole, so he has to mash them up. But yeah, I will call you back after we finish recording.
Don't forget.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Nah, she really be on it with that shit with her. All right. Okay. So the podcast that shall not be named that you aren't a fan of.
Yeah.
Posted Complex's best rap verses so far of 2025.
Okay.
Number 1 is Meek Mill's Proud of Me verse.
That's from that Friday song.
Yeah. Kendrick Lamar Chains and Whips is already number 2. Come on, bro.
Neck in there.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy. Pusha T's So Be It, his third verse on So Be It is number 3.
And that verse is 8 bars.
Drake's Give Me a Hug verse 1 is number 4. NBA Youngboy's Alive is number 5.
Didn't hear it.
JID's Bodies verse, that's what Offset. Jid did his thing, right? Number 6. I had that being my number 1 verse of
really.
Yeah.
Tough.
I think Jid really did his damn thing. Billy Woods, I'd never heard this one before. On Cold Sweat verse 1. Number 7. Malice Ace Trumpets number 8. Joey Badass Crash Dummies verse. Actually, that should be higher.
Yeah.
J. Cole's second verse on Clouds.
That was good too.
Is number 10. And then to round it out, I'll just do the bottom 15. Doshi is number 11 for the Egypt remix. Nino paid for Joey Story. I'm not familiar with him.
No.
Central C, bruv. For Don't Know Anymore. I fuck with Central C. Little Sims, Free, the second verse.
I still haven't heard that new Sims album.
And 2 Chainz, City Boy, Bad Choices. Number 15.
Yeah, no, Complex does what they do where they just sprinkle in some shit there that
very interesting.
Yeah. It's some,
Shout out to Meek though.
Yeah, Meek number 1 is big. That's crazy.
I think that's pretty cool as well.
That was a good verse though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was powerful, right?
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed that.
It's traditional Meek shit. Back to it.
Oh yeah, their Complex also did 10 most innovative rappers right now. Yeah, there's quite a few lists out here, man. Yeah, did that too. Most innovative. 10 most innovative.
They got Westside Gun on there because he would fucking blow a gasket.
He's not on there.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
They got Black Boy Max on there.
Black Boy Max, Lil Yachty, Laser Dim 700,
Skywater,
Doja Cat, Baby Keem, Yeet, Doshi, Playboy Cardi, and Travis Scott.
Fuck Travis.
Yeah, man. That's how it goes. But we can get into this episode, man, because I'm actually pretty excited for this one.
Yeah, let's get into it, man. So the album we're doing, well, the artist that we're focusing on and the album that we're doing, it, you know, he's a veteran. You know, what can we say about this guy? Like, he comes up in every conversation about the greats, especially New York greats. This album came out in 2018, executive produced by Kanye, in the midst of him dropping 5 albums every week, 1 album every week for 5 weeks, which would be deemed the Wyoming sessions, is how we got this album. This album came out like second to last in that series.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Nasir, talking about Nas. This one was released June 15, 2018. It's his 11th studio album released via Mass Appeal, his own label, and Def Jam. It marked his first album in 6 years following Life is Good. Album features Kanye West, Diddy, 070 Shit, Tony Williams, and The Dream. West served as executive producer, as I mentioned, and with other additional production from Mike Dean, Dr. Genius, and more. Yeah. The Wyoming session, man. It was that was another moment. That was kind of like Kanye recreating his that Rosewood, like Good Fridays type feel. This was more of a stream of consciousness. You can tell it was like down to the wire when he was recording these albums. 7 songs. What do you think? What did you think?
I was in total bliss around this time period. We still had our like actual website up, and like I think that we did like reviews for all of the projects, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
and like it was just like it was a good feeling. Like it was pretty dope to know that like what Kanye was doing. Now I think the execution was terrible on Kanye's part, but I think the idea of what he was doing was great, and I think that if he was in a better mental place and had a better structure, I actually think that he could have did wonders with the project. Even though I think all of them still like came like production wise, still all came out good. I was thinking to myself, I wish that, remember when they released the Black Album acapella?
Yeah.
And everybody did like, you know, their own remixes and versions to the Black Album. I wish that Kanye would have released those projects acapella. Because I think what the problem is just that the way that Kanye works, he kind of never finishes.
Yeah.
It's come to that point like where now he doesn't finish.
Right.
So I think for somebody, for people like Tiana and Nas, you can't do that with them. Like maybe like a song, you know, get a session and get a song in. Okay, that works, and go work with the rest, somebody else that's going to put together the project. And I think that was the root of the problem for those sessions. And you know, that was something that I took away from it. But what Kanye did that time, like bringing people together, people wanting to come listen to those projects, people coming out to Wyoming, people being interested in Wyoming, like it was a dope thing. I just think that he was losing his fucking mind during that time period. It's kind of reminiscent, and I know like we there's no reason to even praise Kanye anymore. Like he's done enough to where like he shouldn't be spoken about again. But it's kind of like some Howard Hughes shit what he did. Like, are you familiar with Howard Hughes did?
Yeah.
Like what he was like blurring the lines of like things that he was doing, because like it was like cinematic, it was cultural, like what he was doing, it was just innovative to me. So I just thought like that time frame was dope, and the fact that he was working with Nas and we wanted him to work with Nas for so long.
Yeah, we've been wanting him to lock in with Nas since hip hop is dead.
Right, and I think what should have happened is, and obviously we see that it worked, Kanye should have reached out to Hit Boy, and him and Hit Boy should have did the project together for Nas.
Yeah, but you know,
he didn't.
Hit Boy and Kanye didn't really.
Well, yeah, because Kanye didn't pay him or something like that, right? Like he didn't take care of it. But that's who probably would have been able to corral things in, because it's obvious that Nas can work with one producer, but you got to work with a producer that wants to produce and not just get everything out really fast. And I think Kanye was spoiled because he had somebody like a Jay-Z or a Pusha,
Yeah.
who you can give them like your idea, and then they can go in and knock it out, and then you just build around that.
If he was taking his time with Nas, like around the time of like when he had the stream of consciousness, when the way he was rolling out good music shit back when, not even the second wave of good music, the first wave with Common and B.
Mm-hmm.
If it came out like after B or something like that, because I feel like around that
It should have
time,
came out after Late Registration if he did.
Yeah, so I feel like around that time, it was that's really a good timeline actually.
Yeah, that was
around that
perfect.
time
We Major was such a big deal.
Yeah, exactly. And he was a free agent,
Mm-hmm.
you know, Nas was. So around that time, I think Kanye was really locked into who he was working with at the time. So like, I remember him being on the cover of Vibe with it was him, Common, and John Legend on the cover of Vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember them being interviewed, and the interviewer was like, "Yo, this almost feels like they had this conversation before I got here, and now they're just having it again, just so I can see how they work together, because they just meshed and gelled so well."
They probably did.
You know, so like, it's just crazy seeing what he turned into now, but that's off on the tangent.
Yeah, that's off on the tangent. We're talking about Nas.
Yeah, we're talking about Nas. And I think around the time that this album came out, it could have been better received around the time that he was in the heydays of good music. But Nas, I think, deserved more attention than what he got for this album. Like, as far as from Kanye, not from the public. I think because Nas is such a legacy act, he should have took his time more with this. But what I did like around the time was that before the album came out, Kanye kind of hinted at the direction that it was going. You remember that? So he put out the Kanye wrote the 7 Deadly Sins in a tweet. And so everybody kind of took that as an opportunity to categorize this album, or to allude to the fact that this album would be focused on the 7 Deadly Sins. And when you listen to it, it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Punch coming out with, he was like, "Yo, this is the direction that Nas is heading with this album. He got my attention. This is a great direction for him." And so be it. Like, I think that's what he attempted to do here.
Right.
He just didn't have enough time to really simmer.
Yeah, that's like, truthfully, like, and the funny thing is like, you know, now after we've seen how everything played out, it seemed like Nas enjoyed the experience. Like, Nas was cool with it, I think. Like, because Nas like said, like, "Yo, this is a great experience." It kind of feels like, you know, like I'm being a part of history with what he's doing. And like, then you hear like Kanye saying like Nas rapping all off beat, like complaining and shit, you know, in that rant, that private conversation that he was having about Nicki and Cardi and shit like that, something about Nas. I think that for Kanye, like, he's just used to people like catching it and like keeping up with him. And I think that Nas is
Nas is a slow burner.
I'm trying, what the fuck is the word? Yeah, like, he's a slow burner, but like he's a meticulous, lethargic. No, it's not lethargic. The word's not coming to me right now. But Nas is, you know, he takes his time with shit. Like, you know, methodical. Say it, Reg, please. Methodical.
Oh, methodical. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. That word whooped my ass, y'all. But yeah, like, he's that, right? And I think that because of that just doesn't work with the both of them. Like, and Kanye got too big to a point where he has to even like pace for Nas. He's like, "Yo, Jay-Z would have did this in 15 minutes." Yeah, and been smoking a cigar and drinking Douce somewhere right after.
Yeah, I think Kanye is very slow to stream of consciousness. Like, it's like, "Yo, I got this, boom, rap to this." I think Nas is used to like. That's why I think Nas works so well with Hit Boy, because one, Hit Boy is younger than him, so like he's more in tune with shit. Like, hearing Nas make a Bobby Shmurda comparison, or like some type of reference on his first album, I was like, yeah, that's because of Hit Boy. You know, Hit Boy put him in tune with all this shit. But I think Kanye just didn't match the type of energy Nas is used to.
Okay, so with that being said, me and you have had conversations about this project over and over again. So the question, I know the answer, but I want, you know, for the conversation to say, do you think if this album was a longer album, would it have did better, been a better listen than 7 tracks?
No, I don't think it's the length of the album.
Okay.
I think
That's just
all
Daytona.
of it feels like, because Daytona is good. Daytona's a really good album.
Okay.
I just think that they didn't have enough time for the kind of artist that Nas is. They didn't dedicate enough time to really fleshing this out.
Okay. What else? Where would you rank it amongst the Wyoming releases?
Okay, so amongst the Wyoming releases, you got Pusha, Kid See Ghosts, Tiana, this, and Ye.
Okay, so Ye is the last one.
Yeah, that was the fifth one. So
I thought that was your rankings.
Yeah, no, I was just naming them. I was trying to remember. All right, so number one, I put Daytona. Daytona's number one. Number two, I can put Kid See Ghosts. Number three, I can put Tiana. Number four is this, Five's Ye. Yeah.
So let's see. For me, Daytona, Kid See Ghosts. Third, I put Ye. I really enjoy Ye. Ye is third. For me, NASIR is fourth, and Keep That Same Energy is fifth. And the only reason why I Keep That Same Energy is fifth is because like I unfortunately heard like the versions that Kanye didn't chop up. So it kind of like Ice had put it
better.
Yeah, Ice from the Joe Budden podcast put the full version of the album that Tiana wanted to put out. That the album that Tiana had and the album that came out is two completely different albums. So that me hearing what Tiana thought was going to be the album kind of like made me fall in love with that. The way what it could have been. I was like, damn, why did Kanye stripped away so much from that album? So me knowing that, like, I'm like, yo, this is still a good album, but knowing what Kanye took away from it, especially, I feel like as the artist, you should have final say over the project versus the executive producer. I understand that some executive producers know more, but I think that Tiana Taylor is enough of a talent to be allowed to have final say.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think though, traditionally maybe that's how it is, but with certain executive producers that just have that are cut from a different cloth, like you're not gonna have the final say over what, back then Puff is executive producing.
That's true.
Or what Kanye, it just depends on who it is.
Okay.
But as far as the album goes, the album kicks off with Not For Radio, which is, speaking of Puff,
right,
it's on here.
Opens with Puff.
Yeah.
Nobody talks shit better.
Yeah. And you could tell they were trying to recapture that magic of Hate Me Now. This, I think this was like, I didn't really care for this one. I like the way that it opened because it's nostalgic for me. And then also hearing Puff on this, I could tell that he was added afterwards because he didn't sound on key with what Nas was talking about.
Yeah, it seemed like, it felt like Kanye was like, yo, it'd be dope if you could talk about shit on this, like on some Hate Me Now shit.
Yeah.
It felt, and then, this was definitely like some black empowerment shit and like Nas like trying to like give a message. And, then to just have Puff come in and just talking shit kind of like fucks up the vibe because nobody's going to take it. Nobody believes Puff gives a fuck about black empowerment. So I think that's kind of like the problem, even though it's like, it makes my 90s nostalgic heart full.
Hearing this, and then also this song, after listening to it, like you can categorize this, keeping the seven deadly sins in mind, this song is categorized under pride.
Okay.
There's a lot of pride attributes in the verses and what he's talking about on here, about the black experience. And then we go into Cop Shot the Kid. With that Slick Rick sample.
Yeah, I love it.
And the Richard Pryor tidbit in the beginning of it. You like this song?
Love it. I love it because I actually really like it, and then two, I also love it because I know that Slick Rick is Nas's favorite rapper. So it was just dope to like hear that shit and like know, like I'm like, I know Nas was excited to do this.
Yeah.
So, and then also around this time, like, police brutality was like on the rise, so it kind of felt like it was kind of on time.
Yeah, I get that, but I think what throws me off about it is that it's just not supposed to be a bop. I don't like the chorus, and like the beat is amazing, and it's just something about nodding my head to "Cop Shot the Kid." It's crazy. It's weird to me. Throws it off for me.
Do you remember that when this album dropped, Kanye had a listening party under Queensbridge?
Yeah,
that was fucking
yeah,
dope.
yeah.
Let me tell you something.
I remember that.
Cop Shot the Kid came on.
Yeah,
I watched that live stream.
mm-hmm.
It was a fucking moment.
It was. I remember that Kanye had us download an app just to watch that stream.
Yeah,
and I was watching it at home. I'll never forget that.
We all watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I just felt like, you know, it was something that like I thought, like, you know, I mean, there's a lot of songs that we bop our heads to and we'd be like, damn, like that's what that was about. Or whatever like that.
I think this one just drives it home differently because it's in the sample.
Okay.
So it's like, "Cop shot the kid, cop shot the kid, cop shot." Like the beat is so crazy and it's like, ugh.
Okay.
And then hearing Kanye on there talking about like police brutality, and
I think that was the problem for me with the song. Kanye adding to it is what sucked.
Yeah, because especially around the time he was saying all the crazy shit that he was saying, and it's like, bro, but do you really care? Like,
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, that was a problem. So what next? White Label. You know, Soulful Loop, Dusty Drums. I like saying shit like that now. Like, what the fuck that mean? Dusty drums.
Dusty drums.
But I get it. I just think about some drums having dust on them being old.
Yeah. Not even wiping the dust off. Just
nah.
to it.
Which Deadly Sin would this one be?
Gluttony.
Okay.
Yeah, because you know, White Label. You know, it's expensive. The subject matter of this song is stunting. Not having enough. Even though you have all the money in the world already.
A lot of people were saying that this was a Lost Tapes leftover.
Oh, yeah?
That's what people were saying. Another Lost Tapes like song that ain't make it or whatever like that.
Yeah, but I will say too, this is one where I listen to and it doesn't sound like Nas is rapping to this beat.
I'm almost positive that Kanye changed it.
Doesn't sound like he's rapping to this beat. I think the creativity of that is what Nas probably liked about these sessions. He's like, man, I wasn't even rapping to that, and he put this on there.
Yeah, like I feel it because all Nas has said, all he cares about is his lyrics. That's why his beat selection is the way that it is.
He talked about that on this album.
Yeah, so I think that's something also that speaks to that. Like, I think if Nas cared more about, I think obviously he cares about production being good, but like he wants the production he wants his vocals to be very much on top of the beat, and I think Kanye didn't respect that. Yeah, that's another thing.
Y'all are talking about the beat and shit. What about my message?
Yeah,
that's what.
Yeah, and I think that was a huge disconnect for the both of them. Like, because Kanye, you know, his autistic ass, like he just couldn't like get together, like comprehend what Nas was saying. Like, yo, this means something. People are dying.
Yeah.
Kanye was like, nigga, we got on this Versace and gold, nigga.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
We're not dying, we alive.
Yeah. I strongly feel that way.
Yeah, Bonjour.
Bonjour with Tony Williams.
Yeah, man. That's
this very much gave me It Was Written.
Yeah, this feels good. This is like, you know, this is what Street Dreams is with more money.
Yeah. That's a good one, Regg.
Yeah, so like Vacay, it's a Vacay vibe. I'm into it, and I really like Tony Williams. I think he's pretty underused. Yeah, and then Everything. That's the next song with Dream is on there, and Kanye on the chorus. Obviously Greed. That one ties into Greed. For the 7 Deadly Sins.
Yeah,
you could have everything but nothing at the same time, and I think the song is just too long.
Yeah. It just why everybody else working with the Dream?
I don't know. Dream is a great writer. I think he has really great relationships that he fosters. You see how Beyonce made them charges go away.
Yeah.
Beyonce made them charges go away. That nigga is probably on the next album.
Beyonce was like, yeah, you ain't getting no publisher for a while, buddy.
Yeah, remember he came out.
Write these hits.
They had a whole fucking article on the Dream in New York Times.
Yeah.
About sexual assault.
Sexually assault on that his young protege.
And Yeah, and he apparently was telling her he can make her the next Beyonce, and she act right or some shit. And yeah, and she made that shit go away. Cause I was like, yo, what's Beyonce gonna do? She about to come out with a whole album. Cause he has writing credits on Cowboy Carter.
Yeah, I don't know.
He has writing credits on that, Renaissance, and I mean, it's a pretty good guess that he's gonna be on the next one too. So, but anyway, everything, don't need it. I see how he tried to make it a bigger moment on this album. It just ended up it stayed too long.
Yeah, a lot of people like when it came out, a lot of people praised it, and some people found it like they found it kind of like pandering or some shit like that. So, you know, but I will say that Adam and Eve,
that's my favorite song on this album.
Yeah, I think a lot of people feel that Adam and Eve was like the best song. Fate, temptation, survival, all of the things that happened in Adam and Eve, eating the forbidden apple, talking to the devil and all that stuff like that. Like I like this one. This one felt like it could have been a movie or some shit like that.
Yeah, facts. It could have been a short film or something. And then we end off with Simple Things.
Yeah.
Just too abrupt. It's 2 minutes long. Everything probably would have been better off as the last song. But Simple Things is very abrupt. It's the simple things in life. Simple things.
Yeah.
Like it just, and the way it ends, it doesn't really grab.
That verse. It's never sold a record for a beat. It's my verses they purchased.
Yeah.
Here we go.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Simple Things is the one where I'm like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
That one I can't argue.
So overall, when this album came out, like I said, man, I really wanted to like it because this shit, like Nas and Kanye on an album, this shit means something to me. That's how I felt.
So I made down some of my favorite things about the album, and I made my things that I hate about the album. This is some of Nas's best rapping post Life is Good. The topics were ambitious because at the time, like what we were on the verge of from 2018 to the pandemic, Nas was kind of like on point, right? So that's how I felt like, oh, this is ambitious. I mean, because he saw what was coming on the horizon. Kanye sampling is still top notch on this project. It just he didn't give a fuck to put Nas in the right pocket, right? To me, Cop Shot the Kid, I know you don't feel, but I feel like Cop Shot the Kid is something that he has to include even in his set list for live performances.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I'll find out because I'm pretty sure Nas got a show coming up soon. Okay, so my beef with the album, it feels unfinished. Nas vocals sometimes sound disoriented from the beats. Like I said, like it feels like he might have rapped to one beat and then Kanye was like, nah, I got something else. And then asked Nas to do it over and they couldn't get it to him in time. Because there was something where I heard that they said that Nas was recording some of the album in a car on his way to meet Kanye in Wyoming. Right? And the 7 tracks, the runtime, it shortens the for what the story that's being told.
Right.
It's short, it kind of shortchanges the fans and it shortchanges us on what we're listening to, because even if the album is about the 7 deadly sins, like he could have still fleshed that out, even if he added skits in between or some shit like that. That might have helped.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe like 2 skits.
Maybe 2 skits, 2 or 3 skits just to make the album 10 solid tracks, but it just there was some kind of disconnect, and I think that's what happened. Like I said, Nas always has a message and things that he wants to talk about: systemic racism. He wants to talk about, what's going on with poverty in America. He wants to talk about the plight of being a black man.
Capitalism.
Capitalism, even though he's kind of becoming a capitalist himself. He wants to educate you on our history. He wants to educate you on what's going on in the future. He wants to talk to you about finance and stuff like that. Like he wants to give the knowledge. Like Nas definitely wants to give you that. I just think for this project, the ambition and expectation was greater than the product delivered.
Exactly. I think that's a lot of my issues with this album. Because it's great hearing Nas, but then you listen to this album and I don't feel the collaboration purpose of Kanye and Nas on this. Because then 2 years later, you hear King's Disease, and you see how it's done. You see how it's done when a producer and a rapper are really in tandem, and how it sounds. You know, because it's such a stark difference from the chemistry that him and Hit Boy had to this. This kind of just feels like slop.
If Kanye got a do-over though, he will watch. Like King's Disease, the Magic series wouldn't even matter. If Kanye got a do-over. Just for what people are saying.
He's a better producer. But
well, yeah, just for what people are saying about this project, if kind of like if we can get him to be in his right fucking mind, but
he's a better producer than Hit Boy. So that's not the debate. But I think what Hit Boy does and Alchemist, what they both do really, really well is really lock into the person that they're working with instead of just giving them beats that they think they sound good on. It's like, you're the instrument, I'm going to make this beat around you.
Okay.
And I think that's the disconnect for Kanye, at least lately.
Okay. We can get into our verdicts now.
Yeah. I'm gonna give this a strong 2.5. I think this album is a disservice to the kind of MC that Nas is. Like I said, the highlight run that he went on after this album is to prove that point. I think. I think Nas is such a class act, and he respects Kanye so much. He wasn't gonna say anything bad about these sessions with Kanye, even though Kanye kind of shitted on him. But I think he took that opportunity to show you what kind of bag he can get in with a producer that's motivated to do something with him.
Okay. I give it a 3 out of 5 waffles. Because I can listen to it, but I do understand like where it failed to meet the expectations of what we had with them. Like you got to think like, okay, he worked heavily on Blueprint and he worked on Watch the Throne with Jay, right? So you would expect like, oh, okay, you know, like him and Jay work so seamlessly. Why wouldn't him and Nas? No brainer. But you know, unfortunately, Nas is the problem.
Okay.
Him and Dr. Dre couldn't get it done either. So you know.
But Drake can't get it done with anybody.
Drake can get it done with people. He got it done with Eminem.
Yeah, he did.
He got it done with 50. He got it done with Snoop.
Dre is very selective on who he can get it done with. He couldn't get it done with.
Is he selective, or are the people that he's working with just not willing to? He got it done with Eve too on Scorpion.
Yeah, on one song. He was supposed to do an Aftermath. She signed the Aftermath.
She was on that compilation project that he put out. It didn't work out, but well, see, here's the thing. He was signed to Interscope, so Dre was very involved with the album, even though he didn't directly produce all the tracks, but like he worked with her on a lot of the project. So I'm just saying, like, he was able to work with other people. I'm just saying Nas is the problem.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I wouldn't say he's the problem.
All right.
I think he had a different vision, and you just got to come to him motivated and prepared to really pitch him some shit that would get him moving. And I don't think Dre is that kind of person to motivate somebody with his shit.
He's not Pharrell.
Again, exactly. So again, Nas is one of those people that you really got to convince him to lock in with certain shit and motivate him with certain things. And Dre is not that person, and Kanye is not that person. Kanye has worked himself to a point where it's like, well, I'm Kanye and I'm playing you a beat. Rap on it. Same thing with Dre.
Okay.
Pharrell is going to sell you the beat and the hook. You know, so it's a little different.
All right. You have any more closing arguments, or are you satisfied with your?
Oh no, man. I think I'm good. I'm good with a 2.5. I want to encourage you guys to listen to this album.
It's good, man. Actually, I think you should listen to all 5 albums. They're all only 20 minutes apiece.
Yeah, that's true.
From that era, from the Wyoming era.
Yeah. So I think the run that Nas went on after this album was 6 albums to follow this in about 3 to 4 years. We kind of owe, I would even say that we probably owe that to this album.
Yeah. Again,
motivated the shit out of him.
Yeah, they was talking shit, and he was like, "All right, here we go again." I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it, man. But
And that's how
him and Kanye, they'll do something together again.
I don't know. I don't think so. But listen to this album. If you have listened to it, let us know what you think. I would love to hear it. I'm First Class Regg.
And I'm Taurian B.
And we're out of here.
Catch you guys next time. Dun dun.